home loans, mortgage lenders, paperwork. Man, what exactly is the home buying process? Don't pull your hair out. If you're like me, you don't have much to start with. But I've got great information for you. All you got to do is watch this video and we'll explain all of it for you. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's Otis McAlaster with Keller Realty Roanoke and the Hogan Home Team, your knowledge broker for buying and selling in the Blue Ridge. And if you're thinking about buying a home, then you've probably heard the term home buying process. And you probably don't exactly understand what does that mean. Everybody's saying it. I say it in a lot of my videos. But exactly what is the home buying process? Well, I'm going to take you step by step through the home buying process so that you can understand what all is entailed in that and how that affects you as a buyer. First of all, the first step would be to meet with an agent. Now, many other people have other things stated as what they think the first step should be, and I don't think it's a right or wrong answer. This is just my approach to the home buying process. So first of all, you're going to meet with your agent. You're going to find someone that you like, that you trust, that you feel like is qualified to be able to help you and guide you through the process of buying a home. You need somebody that you feel comfortable with and that you feel is experienced enough to be able to help you. Someone that has a team put together of lenders and title companies and insurance companies and any of the other peripheral needs that you might have when you buy a home, like inspectors and appraisers and all this kind of stuff. So you're going to want to find a good agent that can do that for you. So first, meeting with an agent. Next, you and that agent will enter into what's called an buyer-agent relationship, or you will have buyer agency. You will sign an exclusive representation agreement. This protects you as well as the realtor that you're working with. That way, he has a fiduciary responsibility to represent you. You really can't represent anyone if you don't have a buyer agency agreement. Sometimes they'll show you houses and sometimes they'll do other things for you, but it's in everybody's best interest to have that representation. And you're not locked into it. You can fire a real estate agent at any time if you're dissatisfied with them. So entering into a buyer agency agreement is not really like a binding, super binding contract. Also, in the state of Virginia, buyer agents, as a buyer, you don't pay buyer agents. Buyer agents are paid from the proceeds from the seller. So it's a win-win situation for you, and you should not hesitate with entering into an agency if you trust the person that you're dealing with. The next step that you're going to go into is to determine your buying power with a mortgage pre-approval. By getting a pre-approval, when you start to look at homes, you'll have a lot more buying power. You need to remember that we are in a hot market. That means that the properties are moving very, very quickly. If you're not positioned so that you can immediately make an offer on a property that you actually love, then you may not be able to get that property and it'll slip through your fingers. Properties are flying off the market just as we speak right now. And so finding out what your purchasing power is and having a pre-approval letter puts you in a strong position so that you can make offers on properties. Another thing is you're going to do an analysis and figure out exactly what type of property you need. Do you need 3 bedrooms? Do you need 2 bedrooms? Do you need 1 bathroom? Do you need multiple bathrooms? Do you need a lot of land, or does a small yard work for you? A good realtor, before he shows you anything, is going to ask you these types of questions and more so that he can get a good scope on what it is that you need. This is what I refer to often when I make videos and talk about giving you a buyer needs analysis. Now, not a lot of real estate agents do it, but I take the time to do that because it's the only way for me not to waste your time in showing you properties that you're not interested in. So after we do a buyer needs analysis and figure out the area, the type of home, what amenities you need, things like that, then we'll start to look at properties and we'll schedule ourselves to do property tours. Now, it's a good idea before you actually enter the home that you drive and look at those neighborhoods to figure out if the neighborhood is one that you want to live in. If the neighborhood doesn't work for you, then it's probably not worth your time to go inside the property. After you've done that, you will narrow it down to 2 or 3 homes that you really like on the list that that realtor has given you. And at that point, then you'll decide which homes you want to enter and actually take a look around, sort of kick the tires, if you will. At that point, you'll meet with your agent and you will prepare to figure out which home you are in love with and want to make an offer on. You and that agent will sit down and you will prepare your best offer, and you will submit that to the seller of the home. Now, you guys will, this is a negotiation period, and so you will go back and forth, and they'll offer this, and you'll offer that, and you'll kind of go back and forth until you come to what they call a meeting of the minds. When you reach a meeting of the minds, that means that everybody is in agreement on the terms and price figured and whatever contingencies that are offered on that particular property. And once you do that, you are considered to have a ratified contract. So at the point that you have a ratified contract, a lot of things will happen. There's a lot of paperwork and other things involved, and I could probably explain a whole lot more, but I'm just basically trying to give you sort of a basic overview. So the next thing you want to do is a home inspection. Now, home inspections are not necessarily required, so you don't have to do one. However, it's sort of like buying a car. If you buy a used car, you're going to want somebody to look at that car to make sure, hey, that it runs right, that there's no other problems with it. And it's the same thing with your home. You're going to want someone to get in there and look at the major structure and major features of the home, dealing with things like the structure, the safety features, the electrical, plumbing, foundation, and other features like this. And they're going to look for what we call material defects. Material defects are things that affect the functionality, structure, safety, sanitary conditions of the home. And that's why a home inspection is important. You're also, at the same time, going to get with a title company, and that title company is going to confirm that your loan application is complete and that the title is ordered. So some of these things are going to be running simultaneously. Next, you're going to review the home inspection report, and your agent and you will look at that, and you will negotiate what types of repairs that you want on the property. And you will send that, and so you enter into another negotiation period between you and the seller. And once you guys go back and forth, you'll agree on that, and you will fill out what's called a removal of contingencies. And that will allow you to move forward in the sale. After this, the title company is going to check with all parties periodically to provide information and updates as you continue to move through the home selling process. Also, the lender at that point will probably start to order an appraisal. Now, the lender needs to order that appraisal because whatever lending company you're dealing with, they're not going to lend you any money on a property unless that property meets that appraisal value that you offered when you made your offer. The title company then is going to send you that appraisal once it comes in, so that way you can see it. Next, the title company is going to send you any HOA or home owner association documents if there are any of those to review. Also, the title company is going to receive the loan commitment from the lender at that point. Then you're going to move forward, and the title company is going to send you review closing documents. You will go over those documents with your agent and with your lender to make sure all the numbers in that are correct. Also, you're going to set a closing date. Now, you'll probably have a closing date when you first put your purchase agreement in. However, that closing date is not always written in stone. And there can be things that will happen that can move that date or shorten the time depending on what's going on. But as you get closer and closer to ratifying all the information and getting everything done and getting all your ducks in order, you will get closer to a firm, solid closing date. So usually around this period, you're going to know exactly just about when you're going to close. You're also going to do a final walkthrough so that if you requested any types of repairs on the property, you can go through and make sure those repairs and any other things that you might have requested were taken care of. And if they weren't, you can schedule to make sure they have them taken care of before you close. After this, if nothing else happens and there's no other unforeseen circumstances that come through, then you're going to go to your closing date. At your closing date, you're going to have all the documents there, and both sides will sign. Now, both sides don't always sign on the same day. Sometimes the seller's closing date is a day before the buyer's closing date, and sometimes they're on the same day. It just kind of depends on how it works out. After that, you're probably going to want to get a moving truck because now you can go ahead and move in the property. Generally speaking, on the day you close, that's the day you take possession of the property. After that, there's the recording and funding of the loan, which the title company takes care of and notifies you when that's done. Now, it sounds like a whole lot of stuff going on, and to be honest, it is a whole lot of stuff. And what I've given you is a very brief, very quick overview. There's probably some intricacies in there that I left out purposely because it's just too much information to give in a short video. But I wanted to kind of give you a sort of blueprint of what the home buying process is. If you need more information and you're interested in buying a home, you need to reach out to me. Let me or one of my associates with the Hogan Home Team help walk you through the process and give you all of the answers so that when you get ready to buy a home, you can make great, solid decisions because you know what the home buying process is all about. This has been Otis McAlaster with Keller Williams Realty Roanoke and the Hogan Home Team, your knowledge broker for buying and selling in the Blue Ridge, and I'll see you later.